Welcome to the LowCarbUSA podcast, where we seek to inspire you to help us build this community. I'm Doug Reynolds.
And this is Pam Devine.
So, Andy, welcome back, man. It's been almost a year since we had you on. We met you for the first time in San Diego at our event last year in July, end of July, right? And you had already gone through quite a transformation. And then you met Dr. Ben at the event and with doing his workout for 6 weeks. And then you actually came down and we all met up down in Coronado where Dr. Ben was staying. And even in that 6 weeks, you'd gone through another further transformation. And unfortunately, I don't have a picture of that. But I do have a couple of other pictures which we'll show a bit later. But even since then, you've gone through an even more monumental transformation. So maybe just so that people can see, that is the original before, right? And what you look like right now. So tell me something. What I want you to do is, for the people that didn't hear our first one, maybe just tell your story of how you found out about it and how you got into it, like kind of briefly, up until when you came to the event, what happened over those 6 weeks after you met Ben, and then talk the update. This is the update, right? So then talk about what you have, what you've done since then, and how it is that you look so amazing now.
Thank you for the compliment, and it's great to be back. If I forget a step in it, pull me back because I might.
I'll remind you. Don't worry.
Yeah. I found this by mistake. This is a complete accident. Not exactly a complete accident, but I was trying to lose weight again for the third, fourth, fifth time on Weight Watchers. Mind you, 3 months before I was trying to lose weight, I'm a type 1 diabetic, and my eye doctor told me that I was going blind, and if I didn't shape up, that I would have severe diabetic retinopathy. So even after that, I didn't know what to do. And 4 months later, I needed to lose a good 50, 60 pounds. I was extremely overweight. I had type 2 diabetes on top of my type 1 diabetes, which was never diagnosed, but talking with people like Robert Sybus, who I met at LowCarbUSA last year in San Diego, it was pretty evident that I had type 2 diabetes. So I was working out, again, 6 days a week, and I was just on the treadmill. It was the same story for me. I did this 10 years ago at this point. I did it. I've always thought that you have to just walk it off or, lift weights. I was too afraid to lift weights. I was scared that people were going to make fun of me because I couldn't really lift. And so going to the gym 6 days a week, if you listen to music, you can get very bored of that. And so I needed to find a podcast, and I found a fitness podcast, and this guy was talking about low carb. And he was making fun of Weight Watchers, saying how ridiculous it is that they allow for, you can't eat a piece of steak, but pie filling is only 8 points. And when I heard that, it really resonated with me. Like, I never thought that Weight Watchers was, it works when you're really on it in the start of something, but it doesn't, it doesn't make a lot of sense. Why could you eat all these high calorie, as long as you eat a little sliver of a pie crust, you're not going to be in trouble. But a steak, you're literally, you just ruined the entire day for yourself. It just didn't make sense to me. So I heard that podcast about why Weight Watchers was ridiculous. I called them up and I said, I'm canceling my account. They tried to offer me, 2 or 3 free months. I said, I hope to never have to use this again. And I ended up going low carb extremely strict ketogenic diet. I don't even think it's that strict, and you'll hear why I don't think it's that strict now for what I'm doing now. But it was just I didn't have any fake sugars, no grains, any potatoes, and I ate a very high protein, high fat meal. With that being said, from October to about December, I lost 20 pounds, and I felt great, but there was more work to be done. Fast forward to about LowCarbUSA, which had been about 7 months, 8 months after I started. I was doing tons of research on a low-carb diet, watching all these YouTube videos, and I was so excited to go to LowCarbUSA. I didn't realize I was going to meet which would become a very good friend of mine, Dr. Ben. At this point, I lost about 40 pounds, and you would say I looked great at that point. But I started doing the SMART workout, which he talks about in many conferences and low carb conference this year. And after the conference, I bought these resistance bands. I called him. He gave me his phone number, which was, first off, I thought, anyone who gives you their phone number, personal phone number, you have to believe that they're not lying to you, because who would want to hear from somebody who's disgruntled? So I called him up 7 days later. I said, Ben, I can't believe this really does work like this. I'm working out only 2 days a week, 15 minutes. I've been working out 4 days, 5, 6 days a week, doing a crazy push-pull leg routine at the gym. Never seen results like this. In a week, I lost 5 inches off my stomach. And that combination with, at that point, I was just starting the carnivore diet, was so eye-opening. And I'll say, so yeah, I went on just to backtrack a little bit, I was on a very strict ketogenic diet, about 10 carbs or less a day. My carbs were only from veggies. And at that point, going to carnivore was just the next step. It was just, let me just try this out. I'm type 1 diabetic. Cutting all these carbs got me this far. Why not try cutting carbs out for good, And the weight started dropping dramatically. The workouts got better. The weight was falling off. I was in deep ketosis. I was doing 5 or 6 day fasts. I did a 7-day fast a year ago. I just did a 5-day fast, which was my longest fast this year. And things got just extremely easy. And I'm now down 75 pounds or so. I was a slave to the scale. I don't even look at that thing anymore. I'm just so happy with the way I look, the way I feel. I used to take naps every single day. I could sleep 14 hours that night. And yeah, those pictures, man. Jeez.
There we go.
It's just crazy. It's just, you don't see it on yourself until you see the pictures, and man, it's been quite a fun journey. I mean, people say, one of my favorite things to hear is, I know how hard it is to lose weight, and it was hard to lose weight on Weight Watchers. It was a constant, I got to count calories on everything else. I didn't count a single calorie. This was the easiest way to ever lose weight. It was really fun. And I actually said to somebody yesterday, I said, I wish I enjoyed the process more, because it went by, it just happened all so quickly. I mean, this was 2 years, but I did have a roadblock. I had 2 roadblocks, but once, that was me not being as focused as I should have been, meaning like I let some distractions get in the way. And once I was ready to go again, the weight fell off. Like during coronavirus, which we're still in now, and I lost 40 pounds in 3 to 4 months. So it was really easy, you know. I'm not gonna lie and say, oh yeah, this was. I mean, I probably could have done this transformation in a year if I started a strict keto right to carnivore. I could have done this in a year, but it took me a little bit longer because I had some roadblocks, and that's part of the journey as well.
And I think that's what people need to hear, right? Because
yeah,
I think everybody has roadblocks, and
life gets in the way.
They hit it once,
right?
and they think, "Oh, I suck at this," or "This is terrible and doesn't work for me," and it's all about just getting up and starting over and just carrying on from where you left off, man.
Yeah.
I mean, what I would like to hear. Sorry, carry on.
I was just gonna say, like, I remember when I did fall off, and I ate some carbs for about a month. And I remember being on a Facebook group saying, like, how do I start? And they were like, you know how to start. And right when I heard that, I was like, oh yeah, this is easy. And I just got right back on, and the weight I just picked up from where I left off, you know.
Right. What I'm interested to hear, since you're a type 1 diabetic, that's kind of really important.
Very.
What is your control? How, you know, you've talked about weight, right? But tell us about the improvements in your blood glucose control.
When you asked that question, I actually got goosebumps, because it's just like, I didn't think this way of eating was going to change the way my blood sugars were. I've always had blood sugars in the 2s, 300s. I was running an A1C between 7 and 9 for years. I've been in type 1 for almost 27 years, so I should mention that. And have had bad control for about 18 to 20 years now. And my blood sugars run in the 80s, in the 90s, all the time. It's incredible. I don't even know. Let me tell you, when everyone says, I know how hard it is to lose weight, the weight was easy. The blood sugars are still a journey. I'm testing out different basal. I'm a walking science project. Every day I'm trying different methods. I'm using this. I was telling Dr. Ben, I'm using this Humulin N insulin, and people don't even know what that is, because it's such an old school type of insulin. What I'm starting to think is that I'm so insulin sensitive that even the slow acting Humulin R insulin, which our regular insulin, they sell it is over the counter for $20 or $25 at Walmart. This stuff is even less potent. And I used to take some of the most fast rapid acting insulin, which is Humalog. That stuff is so potent to me. If I give up 2 units, it will drop me down 200 points. I only use it for emergency correction purposes. If my blood sugar sometimes runs a little high, I use that, because it's basically I'm running an analog system injecting. So you have to be. I'm testing out timing. I'm testing out different methods of, unfortunately, diabetes to the medical field is a one-size-fits-all approach, like a hat. And we have to correct that. I know other type 1 diabetics that are carnivores, and they have different methods that they use because they have different spikes for a meal than I do. So, but the blood sugars are great. My A1C, this is the part that everyone wants to hear. This number literally this doctors can't believe it, and they almost fall off their chair. I mean, their eyes blow up, whether it's my eye doctor, which I will tell you about how my eyes are in a second, but my A1C is a 4.9. And that is just like, when I heard the news, I cried. I'm not even gonna try to pretend I didn't cry, because it was like the hard work has now paid off. Now, I want to get to a 4.6. I'm a perfectionist. So, like I said, I'm still doing things so that I can minimize the complications like retinopathy. I can minimize the guessing game out of how much insulin to give. So there's still I think I still have another. I'm saying another about 2 years of testing what the best method is, so that I could live I don't have to think about this 24/7. I mean, every 5 minutes I got an update on my phone from my Dexcom glucose monitor. It's taxing. I'm happy that I'm getting these things, but I want to get it to a point that it's steady and I never have to think about it. And I think every day is a new way, is a new beginning for me with diabetes. So
tell me about tell me about your insulin doses. I don't remember the numbers offhand now anymore, but you told me what you were taking, what you'd got down to by the time we met you, and what it's down to.
Yeah, now. I was taking about 100 units a day at one point. Now, because I'm doing testing right now, like a few months ago, like a month ago, I was at 9 units. Today I'm at 18, and it's just, but still, like I'm 18 right now, but things are imperfect. I mean, I'm not running high, but tomorrow I'm going to be at probably maybe 14. I'm just trying out different things. But I'll tell you the scary thing. I went on a 5-day fast, and scary in a good way. I went on a 5-day fast, and on the 3rd day, I was down to 1.5 units at when I woke up, and 1.5 units at bedtime. And being at 3 units of insulin a day it's unheard of. So at the 7-day fast, I think I was down to about 8 units last year. So even though that it's a fasting insulin and no food in your body for 5 days, just to see that improvement over in the last year just shows how much more insulin sensitive I am. So I've gotten down to about 2.5 units in a full day, and that's a huge win for sure.
That is pretty incredible. So, like, just to finish off here, tell us about the retinopathy thing.
Oh yeah. So again, I was diagnosed with non-peripheral diabetes retinopathy, and I was told I would have to get shots all the time, and it seems like I've reversed it. Wow. I go back in 6 months, which I used to go back every 2 or 3 months because they weren't sure. They were just like, this is looking better, but we want to make sure it doesn't get worse. And if it gets worse, we need to give you shots. Well, I've had 3 appointments in a row that was like, oh, we got to see you in a month because this is looking good, but we're not sure. And now it's 6 months. So I think it will take a little bit more time, but I think in a year when we follow up again, I think that it's going to be eradicated. I think it's done. I'm focused on I see better now. I had a lot of trouble seeing at night. Every month I'm seeing an improvement, and I think right there is just I wasn't able to read small print. Small print's getting a little bit easier to read. And the good thing is the eye doctor always says, you do have 20/20 vision. So I think having that 20/20 vision still and the great blood sugar control is going to reverse it. It doesn't reverse overnight. It took me 20 years of screwing up to get to this. It doesn't just go back in the day. So again, I'm very focused on reversing this. I'm determined. I think I'm going to do it, and we'll see. I mean, I've heard of type 1 diabetics actually reversing their type 1 diabetes, which is an unheard of thing. Once you're diagnosed, whether at what age, you have it forever. And I'm learning works of different doctors that put people on 5-day fast for a few months, and it would be once a month for 5 days, but over a period of 3 to 6 months. And
Right.
there's a lot of different
Somehow
science
brought
out
the
there.
pancreas back to life again.
It could be possible,
That's crazy.
I said this. I think I said it on our local San Diego virtual event last month. I think I said, I believe I said, I'm dedicating my body to science now as a living. I'm going to do this while I'm here because I'm having a lot of fun doing it. Imagine someone being sick all the time, needed a nap, no matter if I slept 6 hours or 20 hours, needing a nap every day because I was so sick. And now I'm able to stay up and enjoy my life. And because of that, I said, there's nothing else. I'm good. I could live my life, but I'm going to do some crazy experiments. And if it's eating beef only for years.
So you're a bit like Dave Feldman doing all those N=1 tests on himself with the cholesterol stuff. But seriously, look what's come of him now. I mean, he's got randomized control trials starting and all sorts of things that who would have known a few years ago when crazy.
Yeah,
engineers
are. I just want to say, engineers are the new doctors. It's not trying to say that in a disrespectful way, but these engineers, man, are they're changing the world. Ivor Cummins, Dave Feldman.
Yeah, maybe we're going to add you to the list after a couple of years about, with all the stuff that you learn.
I'm not as smart.
But hey, you know what? All you got to do is keep doing these experiments and stuff. And
it's a lot of fun.
And see where it goes. I like you say, I think just before San Diego again next year, we need to schedule another one and see what you've learned with all this testing, and hopefully you've found a way to be kind of level continuously, that you're living basically a normal life. It'll be so awesome.
We're gonna get it there. I'm determined. So.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for taking the time to speak with us. As always, it's been awesome. And we'll chat very soon, but we'll chat here again in about a year and see where you are.
Yeah, no, your conference changed my life. So it was, I think it was July 24th last year. I'll never forget. Like that weekend, was the most incredible weekend. I mean, it was just. Not only did I learn so much, but I met some people that helped me on YouTube, and I got to see them live. And if people ever consider, hopefully in 2021, we get to do this in person again, but you got to come down. This was a life-changing event. I did not get paid to say that at all, but it's something that everyone should attend if you care about your health. You're paying attention to the field of a ketogenic lifestyle or carnivore lifestyle, even a Paleolithic lifestyle. This is something to be at because you're not going to get this knowledge anywhere. I know there's other conferences that they have the speakers. This is it. This is the one. I've seen in presentations for all these other conferences, and they're okay. They're good, but they're everyone's accessible. Let's just say that. So you have a question after, you could run up to, Stephen Finney, Ken Berry, Dave Feldman, Robert Sivis, and ask them your personal question. That's something that I just want to bring up on my own. So.
Well, I appreciate it. I definitely didn't pay you to say that, but I really appreciate that you did. And yeah, we'll speak again soon. Thank you again very much for being here.
Yeah. Sounds great. Cool.
Okay, bye.
You've been listening to an episode of the LowCarbUSA podcast. You can support us on Patreon at patreon.com/LowCarbUSA.